Welcome to an all-new edition of Cardinal Sports.
On tonight's show, we have women's soccer, volleyball, hockey, and some returning Cardinals from years past.
In studio, we have two basketball players to preview the upcoming season. Also, we have the return of our new segment, Totally Teammates. Don't go anywhere. Cardinal Sports starts right now.
Welcome back to Cardinal Sports. I'm Christian Rijos.
And I'm Tim Verstandig. Tonight we kick things off with the women's soccer team.
The team has been on a good streak so far, including an undefeated home record. We'll see if that holds up on the beautiful turf at the Fieldhouse.
Plattsburgh comes into the weekend with a 9-5 record. They try to improve on both records, starting with Buffalo State. One player to keep an eye on is top scorer in the SUNY, Madeline Sacuccio.
And the Lady Cardinals look to defend their undefeated home streak against the SUNY top-ranked Buffalo State on October the 14th. It was a back-and-forth game as both teams tried to put the ball in the back of the net, including Madeline Sacuccio, who sent it a pass from her teammate to try and get it by Bengal netminder Taylor Carrillo. And here she is again trying to split the defense, but the defense does a good job on shutting her down. After going up 1-0 early in the game, the Bengals would seal their win with a Melissa Smith goal that went by Nicole Gibson in the 85th minute. Plattsburgh seemed that they could not find their footing and would end up dropping the game 2-0, which effectively ended their home winning streak. But they would have no time to dwell on it as they look forward to their next matchup.
That leads us to October 15th, which was senior day for the Lady Cardinals. The 6 graduating seniors, including Paige Hoke, Kylie Wallace, Ashley Guinness, Lucy Wedge, and Madison Tremblay. But it would be the play of senior Anissa Hartman, which would set the tone for the entire game. She would score the first goal at the 16th minute, and she did not stop there as she tallied her league-leading 11th goal of the season. But junior Madeline Sacuccio wasn't going to let her have all the fun. She would notch her 10th goal of the year to put Plattsburgh up 3-0. Plattsburgh would have control of the game from the get-go as they jumped out to a dominant lead, as Rachel Moran would net her first collegiate goal to put Plattsburgh up 4-0. On a day that celebrated the seniors, the freshmen made the future look very promising, and Plattsburgh would keep applying the offensive pressure, as Sacuccio would score her league-tying 11th goal of the season to send Plattsburgh to a 5-0 blowout.
And moving on to hockey, we get to check out Plattsburgh's red and white games. Both Plattsburgh men's and women's hockey teams will compete in an inter-squad scrimmage. It's a fun way to get the community involved as well as showcase their talent for the upcoming season. Cardinal Sports was able to join the fun. Check it out.
Plattsburgh State hosted its annual red and white scrimmages on October 22nd. The women took the ice first, followed by the men's team. Both hockey teams got their first opportunity to play in front of some Plattsburgh State fans, as well as some students. The Red Zone, Plattsburgh State's student fan section, began the day with their I Believe chant, which made an impression on first-year player Jen Manning.
I love a good fan section. I mean, it gets the blood going. I'll always be ready for it. I mean, it's better than silence any day. So I love to see him. I hope to see him again.
Now, while it was business as usual for some returning players, the freshmen were experiencing their first taste of live hockey at the Stafford Ice Arena, and they seemed to handle it really well.
Freshmen look great. We got a lot of speed this year, not much size, but that's all right. They just got to build their confidence up, and they'll be golden. I'm not worried about the freshmen at all. They look really good so far.
And the men's team has pretty much felt the same way about their first-year players as well.
I think they'll do all right. They've been catching up in practice, so they're up to speed and they look good. So it'll be fun for everybody to watch them go for the first time.
Now, while the Lady Cardinals were adjusting to their New Year players, the men's team were also showing off a little bit of a different team than what Plattsburgh might be used to.
We got some size on the D end. That's pretty new for Plattsburgh, at least in the last few years. And then there's more speed up front, so we'll see how that goes.
In the game where everyone is working hard, not only the fans notice it, but the players do as well. Manning liked what she was seeing for her team so far.
From beginning to end, we moved our feet, which is always a good thing. We're going forecheck hard, back check hard. We're moving the puck well. We're talking. So, I mean, the whole set's there. It's just kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty.
For senior Kyle Hall, it was a pretty similar feeling.
We got a lot of skill out of some of them. Some of them can move the puck, put the puck in the net, and we got some big bodies who can hit too, so it goes both ways.
Now, a scrimmage is usually used as a point to see where the team is and what needs to be improved. But you could also tell, especially with these athletes, there would be some competitiveness.
It's nice to, I'm very competitive, so I don't necessarily like to lose at all, and especially against my own teammates, I take it a little more seriously because I don't want to lose to them because I'll hear it for the rest of the year, but it was a lot of fun. So.
And for the guys, one team lost in a shootout, and it didn't sit so well with first-year player Brady Pfaff.
I went to my forehand, I had him beat backhand, wide open net, but I'll get him next time.
All in all, at the end of the day, they are all Cardinals and love putting on the sweater.
It was one of the best feelings in the world. I've been working since I was, 5 years old to get here. So putting it on was special, and every day that I put it on will be just as special.
Feels pretty good. It was pretty energetic out there. I'm a little tired after, but...
The men kick off their season on November 5th with a home opener against SUNY Canton, while the ladies look to defend their title on the road against William Smith College the same day. In Plattsburgh, for Cardinal Sports, I'm Chase Kalman.
After the red and white games, we are certainly excited for the start of the Cardinal hockey season, which kicks off the 29th, including myself. But we have to live in the moment, and that moment is women's volleyball. Now we are going to take it inside to the courts of Memorial as the Plattsburgh volleyball team takes on Division II St. Michael's College for a non-conference match. Although St. Michael's took the lead in the first set, Plattsburgh came back and scored 9 straight points. This included a kill by freshman hitter Danny Barunda. St. Michael's began to crawl back, however. The Cardinals shut down many of St. Michael's attempts to climb back into the match with back-to-back blocks. Plattsburgh came out on top, winning all 3 of their sets. The first 25-23, the second 25-22, and again 25-23 in the last, collecting another home victory on the season.
After their win against St. Michael's, the Cards of the Court moved on to play Skidmore. Both teams brought their all, making this a tight match. Skidmore took an early lead in the first set, which helped them build momentum to a victory on the day. Although the Cardinals were able to come back and win the second set 25-21, they could not capitalize and win the entire match. The Thoroughbreds came back strong to win the third set 25-19, lose the fourth 25-17, and win the fifth and final set 15-11, making the overall match a 3-2 win for Skidmore. It was a close but unfortunate loss for the Lady Cardinals' last game of the season. After the game, we were able to talk to Plattsburgh player Jordan Ailes and Skidmore coach Hilda Arachea.
Like I said, we did really well tonight, so I'm really happy with the progress we've made so far. I think we just keep bringing the intensity and keep it throughout the entire weekend, then we'll come out strong for conference games.
And we are a very young team, so every time we take the floor, it's a little bit of more maturity going into the next match.
Coming up next time on Cardinal Sports, we are lucky to have 2 Plattsburgh basketball players, one from the men's team and the other from the women's, here to join us to preview their upcoming season. As you can see right now, they are getting ready to chat with Tim. Stick around to see what they have to say.
Welcome back to Cardinal Sports. Joining us today are senior forward Owen Mitchell from the men's basketball team and senior guard Jax Miller from the women's team. We are here to talk to them about their basketball experiences as well as the upcoming season and their expectations. How did you both get your start in basketball?
Well, growing up, my dad was a coach, so he actually coached at Potsdam State where I grew up. He bought me my first ball before I was even born, so it was kind of like a family kind of deal. My brother plays a lot too, so it's definitely kind of a family tradition.
It all started in first grade. They actually had youth commission at my school, and they put together like a little basketball program. And I went, and I had a silver basketball. I thought it was so cool. And then from that day, it just kind of stuck, and I actually still have the basketball. So.
Awesome, awesome. Who were your influences growing up?
I'd have to say my dad. He just works so hard. Actually, recently I've like connected so much more with him and realized how much more we have in common. And he just makes me want to be a better person. And he makes me realize that at the end of the day, it's always great to have a laugh and to never leave angry.
Awesome.
Definitely my dad as well. Like I said, he was my coach growing up, and every time, even after I went off to college, after games, if he comes up or even if he doesn't come up, like I'll talk to him, I'll call him. He'll give me advice based on what he saw me do, and his opinion is one that I trust more than anyone in the world. So.
Awesome. At what point did you know you were playing basketball at the next level?
About my senior year of high school, I went to an exposure camp at Nazareth College. And there was like 50 kids there, 60 kids, and I just competed against them, and there was a bunch of scouts there. So I got a couple of offers, and that was when it really started for me, really started to pick up. So
I don't know, it was always it was going to happen because I didn't really realize there was any other option. Right. I just kind of knew I wanted to play, and then I just started getting recruited, and everything happened so fast, and then my parents were like, well, if you're not playing college sport, then you're getting a job. And I was like, well, I like playing basketball too much to have to work.
What was the recruiting process like?
Oh, it was crazy. Actually, Cheryl Cole, my coach now, was the best recruiter that I had. She put in all the time and hard work to get me here. She called me after my game. She asked me how life was, basically, and I just felt like I could connect with her. And then she got me up to campus here, and I was dead set against not going to Plattsburgh. And once I got here, she introduced me to Cindy McCarty, who runs the education program here. Okay. And I instantly fell in love with that program, and I knew this was a fit.
Awesome.
Yeah, the recruiting process was a little hectic for me too. I got calls a lot because I went to that camp and I had like 7 schools that were really interested in me. Plattsburgh wasn't one of them, but my dad's actually a good friend of Coach Curl, and when I got a chance to come up and visit the school, Coach really took an interest in me, and that was when I had actually been dead set on Oneonta. So when he told me he wanted me to come play for him, I fell in love with the school when I visited, so it became a very easy decision once I came up here.
Back in community service, and just to see other people out in the community outside of the gym is also great.
Tremendous. When you think about last season, is there one specific thing that comes to mind?
Yeah, it was actually in the beginning of the season. We had a game against St. Lawrence, and I actually had to go to my sign language class because I had 2 tests that I couldn't miss.
Oh, wow.
So I took those 2 tests. I got in the car. I flew down to the gym to make it in just enough time for the last 10 minutes. And I played those 10 minutes, and then after the game, everyone's celebrating. I have no idea why. I'm like, what happened? And I guess Dev scored 49 points that game.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, oh my goodness, that's awesome. So it was a great memory.
I think for me, it's probably when we were playing Buff State at Buff State. We had beaten them earlier in the season at home in overtime, and we were actually down by 1 with about 11 seconds left in the game, and our point guard, Eli Bryant, brought the ball up the court and absolutely drained a 3 from about 5 feet beyond the 3-point line for the win, and that was just the most amazing game I've ever been a part of.
Awesome. Thank you guys for coming on the show today and sharing your experiences with us. Briefly, what can we expect from you guys this season?
I think people are counting us out because we lost Kyle, Ed, and Xavier from last year, and Kyle was the SUNY Player of the Year, so people are really not expecting a lot from us, but we have a huge influx of talent. We've got a lot of big guys. We've got some really good guards. I think people will be very surprised by us this year.
And you?
I think we have a very young team. We have a lot of incoming freshmen, but their hard work and determination and love for the game and passion really shines through at practice now, and I think we can do great things, and they will have a great future as well.
Again, thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be on the show. It's always good to come down and be on Cardinal Sports.
Awesome.
Don't go anywhere yet. The second half is just ahead.
Coming up after the break, we will take a look back into the past of Cardinal Athletic. Oh my God, I'm sorry. By checking out the Alumni softball game.
Over Alumni weekend, many graduated Plattsburgh Cardinals returned to their home fields. During the excitement and the stirring emotions, we were able to visit the softball field to catch the Alumni game.
Besides just watching them play, a few alumni and current players talked to us about their time here as a Cardinal athlete. It was exciting not only for them, but for us here at Cardinal Sports to compare the past and present of Plattsburgh softball.
Check out this exciting experience.
During homecoming weekend, graduated Plattsburgh Cardinals met at Cardinal Park to reminisce and play a pickup game with their old friends along with current players. They were lucky to have a great day with beautiful weather. Alumni expressed how they felt about returning to Plattsburgh for this event.
It feels amazing to be back here. It's kind of like home. You kind of come back to your homecoming. And we always have a good, strong presence of alumni because it's important to us for kind of transitioning from the new players to the old players and kind of keep the momentum together and make sure that a lot of the traditions are passed on through kind of generations of the Cardinal softball players because we all really care a lot about this program.
Alumni, as well as current coach Stephanie Conroy, was also very excited about seeing past players. Hosting a pickup game meant a lot to her. She shared her feelings on the event.
It feels great, you know, from people that I've coached to people that I played with. It's always good to get everyone back here. It was especially nice this year because we had a new field and lots of new updates, and it was the first time there had been updates since before I was a freshman. So for all the people that came back, for them to see our field, you know, something special happen with our facility was special to them.
Being able to play on the brand new field inspired current and future players, the alumni, as well as the current Plattsburgh Cardinals as they broke up into teams and played a playful match. However, this weekend was not just about playing softball. The past and the current players spent most of the day together, ending with a dinner full of laughs and memories. Although this weekend was about remembering the past, Coach Conroy also gave us some insight on how she sees the future.
I think good things, big things. I wish that we could just continue right now, you know, but unfortunately we have to wait and see how hard they work in the off season, and I know that they're ready to win and there's lots of visualization of doing big things, so I'm excited to kind of see us continue what we started last year and the year before that.
Coach Conroy isn't the only one thinking highly of the upcoming season. Current players are also very positive.
I think we're going to have a great season. I think we're going to do very well and make it far in SUNY. And we're just very close as a team after like the first week of fall season. We're just best friends.
Overall, the alumni game was a great turnout. As years go on, Plattsburgh softball is a program that continues to grow. For Cardinal Sports, I'm Chase Cowan.
Coming up after the break, our second segment of our new game, Totally Teammates. Last week, you were able to see rugby play. Stick around to see who's joining us this week.
After that, find out who the Cardinal Spotlight of the week is. Don't go away.
And welcome back to Cardinal Sports for our new popular segment, Totally Teammates. In last week's segment, men's rugby set the tone with 11 points. But now, it's tennis's turn.
Can they serve up a win? Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Henn and I'm on the women's tennis team.
Hi, I'm Ashley Wilson and I'm also on the women's tennis team and we're teammates.
And we're ready to play.
Okay. It's a shoe. You use it when you play soccer.
A cleat?
Yes.
Okay.
This you use when you are playing hockey.
Skates?
Mm-mm.
The stick. The
No.
hockey stick.
No.
Face mask?
No.
Gloves?
No, it's the object.
Oh, puck. Hockey
Yeah.
puck.
We play on one.
Tennis court?
Court.
Court.
We use these in
Rackets? Tennis rackets?
Yep. I enjoy, another word for enjoy, really like my tennis team.
Love?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh gosh. on the field and you're in a certain area and you're going to do
Kick?
something. Yeah, but
Penalty kick?
No, close.
Goal kick?
No. in a place on the field. Is that time for the first round? Okay.
What was it?
Corner kick. Oh my gosh. I'm like,
Okay, so he's a famous soccer player, married to, I can't say the last name.
Ronaldo?
No. Like he's still like relevant, has a lot of tattoos, really good looking.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. Pass her
Okay.
now.
Okay, a famous women's soccer player, goalie.
Oh my gosh.
Her first name is like a word, so like.
Hope so.
Yes, okay. Okay, he just retired, famous basketball player, really tall.
Kobe Bryant.
Yes. Okay, fastest swimmer, American. And she was just in the Olympics, she's 19.
Oh no, I don't remember. Oh my gosh. I don't remember. Pass.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. His logo are his initials.
Federer.
Yes. Okay, he has a really cute kid. He plays basketball. He's on the Golden State Warriors.
Oh my gosh, I can picture all of these people.
His last name is also Indian food.
Curry.
Yeah! I need to talk. This is so hard. Okay.
Ground.
Okay.
Dog.
Yes.
Dog playing basketball. Okay.
Okay, money. Basketball. Throwing a small basketball. 2 words. Money. Moneyball? Ah, yeah!
Wow, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think the hardest part was when we had to act out and couldn't use words.
Apparently, we only got to tie with rugby.
But it was still fun. Make sure you tune in next week to Totally Teammates
on Cardinal Sports.
New to Cardinal Sports this week, an all-new segment to the show which will air every week with help from the wonderful Sports Information Department. We bring you the Cardinal Spotlight.
That's right, Tim. The Cardinal Spotlight is a weekly article that appears on the school's athletic website, gocardinalsports.com. And this week's athletes in the spotlight are Jacqueline Sorello of the women's tennis team and Ryan Miller of the men's soccer team.
Both players gave us insight into not only their sports here at Plattsburgh, but a little dip into their personal lives. For the whole story, visit gocardinalsports.com. Make sure you watch next time to find out who our next 2 Cardinal Spotlights are.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. We hope you enjoyed our second episode of Cardinal Sports. However, we're just getting started.
Check us out next time, Cardinal Country.
Good night.